God, I pray right now, whatever that you see fit that we should do, God, I pray let it be prevail in this meeting. We thank you right now, Father God, for our mayor. We thank you, God, for our councilmen. We thank you, God, for God, everyone that is participating on today. Now, God, I ask you, God, to just have your way. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Kimbrough. Colleagues, are there any opening statements? None? All right. We're going to
Mr.
go ahead
President.
and, yes.
Peter Tableson, CAO. I'd ask that you open the meeting in memory of Evelyn Gatewood Banks, the mother of State Representative Earl Banks, and great aunt of my wife. I would ask that she was funeralized yesterday. I would ask that we remember her as we open today's meeting. Longtime resident of the Georgetown area.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Councilor Stokes, any opening statements?
Yes, Mr. President, Ms. Maudine Taylor, 104 years young. They buried her last week. Mr. President, could I make a statement, please?
I'm nervous, but yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. President, I've received many calls about me not being here. I have had medical issues. I'm doing better. Nothing that could spread or get anyone sick or endanger their lives. But I'm still under doctor care, and I want to thank all my doctors, especially my son, Dr. Keith Stokes, for their loving care. Also, Mr. President, some weeks ago, an article was in the Clarion Ledger, and I want to let this body know that I never have the appearance of impropriety. I will never embarrass this institution and my family. I do not meet with dope boys. I've never asked a dope boy for a dime. To make it clear, it was all lies. And even though some was hoping that Kenneth Stokes was in trouble, I don't smoke dope. I don't steal. So you don't have to worry about the FBI and nobody else coming at Kenneth Stokes. Two things you can believe in. You can believe in Kenneth Stokes going to do the right thing and always trust God. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, we're going to go ahead and move into consent agenda. No, I'm sorry, public comment. I don't have the sheet. Thank you. All right, colleagues, we have 4 non-agenda items and 3 agenda items. Rules for the road, you get 3 minutes for public comment. When I call your name, please come over here to the podium, state your name for the record. You will be given 3 minutes. At the 2.5-minute mark, the clerk will flag you with the yellow sign letting you know that you have 30 seconds left. At the end of your time, the clerk will then flag you with the red sign. At that time, we politely ask that you cease comment at that time. If you need to meet with someone from the administration or one of their teams, just ask to meet in the foyer. Thank you so much. Mr. Quentin Bland, my Abba Father nonprofit. It's on.
All right. You said it was 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
State
okay,
your
I
name
think
for
I
the
can get
record,
it in.
please.
Okay. What'd you say?
State your name for the record.
Oh, yeah, Quentin Bland. All right. My name is Quentin Bland. I'm the president of My Abba Father, a nonprofit dedicated to strengthening veterans, fathers, and families in Jackson. Across Mississippi, 36% of children grow up without a residential father,
And here in Hinds County, nearly 6 out of 10 children are living in single-parent homes, above the national average. Children growing up without fathers face higher risk of poverty, school struggles, and behavior challenges. In Jackson alone, nearly 4 out of 10 children live below the poverty line. These aren't just family issues, they're community and economical issues affecting our community, schools, neighborhoods, and future workforce. So tell you a little bit about My Abba Father. It empowers veterans first, some are veteran, fathers and families build strong, stable, and nurturing families. We provide comprehensive support that promotes responsible parenting, economic sufficiency, emotional well-being with programs in financial literacy, workforce development, and mental health. Our mission is to ensure that every veteran and parent facing economic or social challenges has the tools, knowledge, and support needed to create striving families and a stronger community for the next generation. This weekend, we're hosting the My Abba Father Fatherhood Fun Festival event right here in Jackson at Lake Hyco, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out and support. Bring your kids, family, children, everybody. And we are taking last-minute vendors, too. Anybody want to come out there, just let me know. All right? Our long-term vision is to establish a permanent fatherhood facility here in Jackson, where fathers can receive mentorship, education, and support year-round. This initiative will create jobs from construction, renovation to program leadership, mentorship, administration, and community outreach. The first fundraising goal this year is going to be to get the land or guidance on if it's a location here in Jackson that would possibly get renovated as well. So I'm asking for you guys' help, partnerships, resources, any means necessary. Because when we invest in fathers, we invest in families. When we invest in families, we invest in the community, neighborhoods, a stronger future for Jackson. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bland. Next week. Okay. Next, we have Ms. Geneva Johnson, MLK Bridge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to talk to you. My name is Geneva Johnson, and I'm president of the Georgetown neighborhood. And I want to talk about that bridge, Martin Luther Bridge. I'm asking the city councilor to pass that so we can get that bill because it's affecting 4 churches around here. And they're right in the vicinity. Not only that, it's a nuisance. You come there, I came by there about a week ago, and there were these 2 snakes sitting on top of the dirt. Turtles, everything is getting up there now. So we need to do something about it because somebody could get hurt. We did have an accident there. So I'm asking you to fix the bridge up so we can don't have to go around the corners and everywhere else down the way. We had fires in that area, and the fire trucks didn't know the bridge, and other people didn't know it was closed too. So I'm asking you, if you would, that they will grant money for the bridge and get it fixed and repaired, and also just to do the right thing. Because this bridge has been torn. They told us 30 days. We wind up with 3 years. And there's some bad adding there. So I'm saying now, I'm just asking y'all to please do what you can and get this done for us, for our community, because we have 4 big churches around here. It's affected by that. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. All right, Ms. Betterstein Wade Robinson. George Robinson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Betterstein Wade Robinson, and I am here to address to the city how I feel about my brother and what happened. For you all to feel like we enemy, we're not. Look at the city of Jackson today, and you see a leadership have no honor. We sat at a table in good faith to find a resolution for George Robinson, a man stolen from his family and his community too soon. They sat across from us, looking at us in our eye, and told us the city was in dire financial straits. They asked for a lower number, and we accepted, along with strict vows of silence, and just this family would find a share of peace, a thread of peace. But the ink wasn't even dry before they betrayed us, before we could even get home and process what happened to us. They was on the public news. They broadcast the settlement to the entire world. They broke that confidentiality because they didn't care more. They cared more about political win than they did dignity of a grieving family. We proved to them, they proved that to them, this, their, our privacy and our pain are just tools for a headline. This is just not a mistake. It was a continuum of mistreatment we suffered from years throughout the trial and the arbitration. We wasn't treated like victims. We was treated like enemies. They had the audacity to bring Anthony Fox, Lincoln Lampton, and Desmond Barnett to our proceeding while we was fighting for justice. They had those accusers sitting right across the hall, protecting and catering to by the city legal team. We had to feel their presence while we was forced to wait. The city didn't focus on the truth. They focused on shielding accusers involved in George's death. They sidelined us in our pursuit of justice, treated our trauma in the inconvenient, like it was an inconvenience. They think selling buys our silence. They think they can leak our private business to the press and we just go away quietly. But you cannot put a human life, you cannot put a price on a human life, and you certainly cannot put a price on the truth. So I just want the city to know that it wasn't about the settlement. It wasn't about that. It was about the dignity of my brother. It was about how I felt about my brother. I just wanted everybody to know that that's how I feel for as it concerned to my brother. It wasn't about y'all making a big idea about the money thing. It's about my brother. And my brother was definitely killed.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Shante Walker, Child Issues.
How y'all doing today?
Good morning.
I'm here to let you know a little bit more about the case. Now I am doing a complaint on Judge Hicks, her actions in this case with the judicial system, because when you got police officers that did a fake investigation and the judge is well aware of it, that's a big problem, because we need honesty. And the kids are our future. And my son, he's been raped, sex trafficked, and it's still going on. And Judge Hicks, CPS, everybody is well aware of it. So I want you to keep me and my son in your prayers. And like I said, I do have I do want support. Even if I do like a drive or something, I do want support from the public. And I also would like a meeting with everybody on the city councilmen. I already had one. And I just want everybody to be aware of what is going on with our kids, because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep this going, because the kids are our future. Just like our kids, you just never know what child may be our next president, what child may be our next city councilman. So we have to keep our kids safe. And taking advantage of my 81-year-old mother, and you got the JPD officers are 100% involved, and they use their job to get my child out of the house by making false statements. And then when you got a judge have her pastor at Progressive Church involved in this case, he shouldn't even be involved. He shouldn't even be in the courtroom when it is a sensitive subject like kids, because that's a very sensitive subject. And I know that's her preacher, and she believes in him, but everybody may not feel the same. But we do believe in him, but it's personal when it comes to people, kids, especially when you have a judge knowing that what is going on with your child. And she do have relatives that work with the police department that have this negativity going on. Thank you. You have a blessed day. And just keep me in your prayers, and I will be back to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Colleagues, we have three public comments on item 35. Mr. Chris Cooper. Mr. Chris Cooper.
Good morning,
Morning.
Mr. President, to the councilman, to the citizen of Jackson. I'm Christopher Cooper, the president of the Betterment Society. What we do is we help the elderly, we assist the youth, we get them in school, we mentor them. We also make ourselves tangible into the community, dealing with water. And anytime y'all had the city had a water crisis, we was there. I fill up my detail van and go and give out water to the elderly when they needed water, or we'll rent a truck, or we'll make sure that people getting water that's on dialysis and different things of that nature. We'll get truckloads of water in. We'll team up with Salvation Army or different things of that nature to get water out to our citizens. So I'm truly dedicated to the people here in the city of Jackson. But I stand in the gap today for our citizens that can't stand for themselves. We're looking at a 12% raise on our water bill. Now, I get it. I get it that we got a new crew, and this new crew got to get paid, but they already getting paid $115 million a year. And we look at January they said over $109 million, in February 107, and they get $1 million a month, understanding that. But as our citizen has already been dealing with a water crisis, when Siemens came in and put in electronic meters, it raises their water bill. Some citizens are still struggling from those raised water bills, especially when you can't come into an office to speak to someone about this issue, or a water break may break and they send somebody out and somebody's water bill went up and they say, well, it's a water main break, or sometimes they go out and it's not a water main break, but their bill is still high. So you're dealing with elderly people that's already on a fixed income, that's trying to pay a water bill or a high water bill already in the city of Jackson, where it's a poverty city already. And we're living from check to check. You know, like I say, I'm a nonprofit organization. Everything I do for this city comes from my business. I haven't, asked the city for anything of that nature, but I'm sacrificing what's supposed to go in my household for my citizens or for my youth in this city, because I was once in this city that was in poverty as well. But God blessed me to have my own business to stand in the gap today for our youth in our community. But I still come back to this this increase of the water bill. We're not wanting an increase on this water bill. Okay, thank you. We're not wanting an increase on this water bill. And we got to look at that, not only that our citizen here in Jackson, but we got to look at, our elderly, at least look at them. Think about them when y'all making this adjustment on this water bill, because they're suffering. If they got to go to their neighbors and get jugs of water, we got to think about that situation. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Cedric Coleman, item 35. Cedric Coleman.
He was one of the guys with me. If we can we get it to Joseph Holiday with No Greater Love? If that's
Sure.
all right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Esteemed council members and community constituents. We just want to say
State
that
your name. State your name for the record.
my
Ms.
name
Holiday.
is Joseph Holiday. the founder of No Greater Love Youth and Community Missions. And so we're here today to support what Mr. Cooper was saying. We're asking the administration and anyone that is in that position to consider our elderly people, consider our fixed income households, and kind of calibrate that as it applies to those and what they're receiving in their monthly income. Because again, we're dealing with already a very impoverished community. We're already dealing with challenges with infrastructure and other things. So if it's at all in the administration's power to help these residents in this position, and especially, again, dealing with the children and those that are most in need. So we're asking for that consideration, and we would just like to, in the process of that, we want to thank the leadership and everybody that's in the decision-making for what you all are doing in terms of representing us, thanking the mayor and all of you council members for what you do. And we're praying for you all, and we want to continue to ask that you seek your counsel through spiritual and just the higher power. But again, thank you for the opportunity. And again, we would like for you all to consider those that are at risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Brandon Moore, item 35. Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore. All right.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
could we open the meeting in honor of Dr. Elaine Hayes Anthony,
Absolutely.
Ohio forgotten, and Mrs. Viola H. Edmonds, and Mr. Jerome Harrington. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Harrington. Let's move to consent agenda.
All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. As noted, in order to discuss any of these items, it will need to be removed by request. Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. Colleagues, we're going to take items 13 and 16 into executive session today. Claims.
Order approving claims appearing at pages 242 inclusive thereon, a municipal docket of claims in the amount of $2,755,766.09 for and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So move.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Folks, can we have large claims, please?
Jillian Caldwell, CFO. Larger claims are as follows. Fountain Construction Company, the amount is $296,202.22 for the payment for the chiller replacement for Thalia Mara Hall from Fund 449 DFA SB 2468 Thalia Mara Hall. The second largest claim is to the Evans Agency. The amount is $247,278 for the payment of the workers' comp insurance premium January 2021 General Fund. The third largest claim is to R&C Services LLC. The amount is $208,625 for the payment of the demolition of 1769 University Boulevard final payment from Fund 1 General Fund. The fourth largest claim is to Jackson Hines Library System. The amount is $162,250.67 for the payment of the March 2026 appropriation Jackson Hines from Fund 399 Library Fund.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments about claims, colleagues? Yes, Mr. Foote?
Thank you, sir. My question concerns the chiller replacement for Thalia Mara Hall. And That should, I think the money should come from a maintenance fund, but it's coming out of the Human and Cultural Services. I'm curious why it's coming out of Human and Cultural Services. I understand Thalia Mara Hall is part of Human and Cultural Services, and then we gave, didn't we give a big chunk of money for the Visitor Center and the, for the Convention Center and the visitors, Visit Jackson to run Thalia Mara Hall?
Yes, we provided funds to them to manage the Thalia Mara Hall. However, these funds are coming from some state allocated funds for the purpose of, for this purpose to get the chiller replaced.
So this was money that the state gave us?
Yes.
And it goes through the Human and Cultural Services rather than
Yes,
through maintenance?
Human and Cultural Services was
Okay.
responsible for managing those invoices.
Okay, anyway, so I think just, maintenance is a huge issue for us, and we need to get it right, and we need to put more money in maintenance too, and at some point, I think the money needs to go through the maintenance fund so we can understand where the money's being spent. Thank you.
All right, any more questions or comments about claims?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Tableson, are we behind on any of our bills, and if so, to what extent?
Peter Tableson, CAO. To my knowledge, we are not behind on any bills, but in all candor, as this council has seen, probably once every 4 to 6 weeks, we find some invoice from years ago, as many going back to 2014, that we're attempting to pay. So are we knowingly behind on any bills? Absolutely not. I think the CFO and her team is doing an excellent job at streamlining the payment process. Might there be bills that pop up from some department? I think the CFO and I are both frustrated that there are things from before this administration's time that still arise that we bring over here and request payment for.
Well, it's important that we recognize hard work pays off. I've only been in office a short period of time. And when you came in, very little money was available. And to try to straighten things out or up, somebody needs to say thank you. I understand that we were looking at 10 million shortfall, and we narrowing that down every day. So don't think that the council members not paying close attention to the things that's going on in your effort to try to put the train back on the track. Thank y'all so much.
Mr. Hartley?
Yes, I just wanted to echo my colleague's sentiments. Mr. Tableson, Mayor, the key to, and Ms. Cardwell, the key to us having a healthy city is, in fact, our finances, our ability to get things done. And, for whatever reasons, we find ourselves in this situation. And so we appreciate the hard work and diligence you guys do in finding these shortcomings, finding where we made mistakes and going back and fixing it. Now, that's going to get us to another level, but that's going to set the firm foundation for us, in fact, to rise, to get better. And so thank you, Ms. Caldwell, Mayor, and Mr. Tableson.
All right, how many payments have we made to the lobbyists? Okay, I see there's a claim here for $13,333.34. Have we received a report from the lobbyists? Colleagues, have any of you received a report from the lobbyists? Bastillion Strategies.
We're in the middle of a legislative session, so reporting will come close to the end of the session.
Well, usually we'll receive incremental reports giving us feedback on what has happened, what's died, what's,
I'm sure the lobbyists will be ready forthwith, and so we'll make sure that they get to the council and report as soon as possible.
Okay. Colleagues, I'm going to make an amendment pending a report from Bastillion Strategies, and I move that we remove them from claims and we can get them back on claims once we get that report, maybe at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Mr.
Was there a stipulation in their contract that they would provide that before this claim was paid?
I know it was in my conversation with them. Any more questions or comments?
Any report is not a problem, Mr. President. I will get that right to the council as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Any more questions or comments?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Caldwell, you said this is an older payment?
This is the only payment,
Oh, the only.
the only one that's been done.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor of the amendment? Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
I say yeah.
Does it pass or fail? It failed. All right. Thank you. Any more questions or comments about claims? All right. All in favor of claims? Opposed? All right. Thank you. 6 and 1. Okay. All right. Payroll.
Order approving gross payroll, including payroll deduction claims number 33737, to and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly. Okay, thank you. It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments on payroll?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, we have heard the concerns and improvements that your administration has done in terms of help putting the train back on the track. I know it's not a lot of money in this city that we just have laying around. There's no money tree. But do we have plans for raises in the city? And do we have plans to bring the people at the bottom salaries up so they can have a workable wage?
What we're trying to do right now, as you said, is to right the ship. We're looking at a pretty significant deficit that we've inherited. And once we are able to wrap our arms around it later.
Peter, give me your mic and restart that one.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, all right. As you said, Councilman Stokes, we're trying to right the ship. And 2 years ago,
Till it starts playing. Go ahead.
okay,
I just tell them how to restart your mic.
all right. 2 years ago, we had a $7 million deficit. This past fiscal year, we had a $13 million deficit. We're looking at a significant deficit right now that we've inherited, and we're trying to work our way through that, trying to make amends for that deficit and to wipe it out as quickly as possible. And then we'll be looking at a comprehensive analysis of salaries that we're paying our staff. And I hear what you're saying about the folks at the bottom need to get some consideration as well. But at this point, we're in the process of trying to get our budget straight and under control.
Thank you so much.
All right. Any more questions or comments about payroll? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. All right, 16, again, is an executive session. We're going to put 17 in the Finance Committee. 18, please.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute the bid management electronic bidding and reverse auction services agreement with Plan House Enterprises LLC to provide an electric bill management and reverse auction platform for the city of Jackson.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 18? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. 19,
Order authorizing the mayor to execute the master customer agreement, security and network addendum, and network solutions order form with PDI Technologies, Inc. to support the fueling system located at the Jackson Transit Administrative Maintenance Facility located at 1785 Highway 80 West.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about item 19? Hearing none, all in favor? Item 20.
Order authorizing payment of $8,500, invoice number 1 for sewer line repairs at JPD headquarters, and authorizing the mayor to execute the proposal form in terms and conditions for Phase 2 in the amount of $59,167.50 to Richardson and Richardson pursuant to a declaration of emergency.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. I know there were some questions about this item yesterday. Are there any more today? Hearing none, all in favor? 21.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute the master services and purchase agreement with Axon Enterprise, Inc. for FUSIS, a cloud-based real-time crime center, RTCC platform.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions, comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 22.
Order authorizing mayor to ratify the submission of the application for the FY 2026 Mississippi Office of Homeland Security Competitive Funding Opportunity State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program for $2,179,008, and upon authorizing the mayor to accept the grant and to execute the agreement and related documents.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Slater, Mr. Tableson, we recently had a situation at the University of Mississippi Medical Center that really hurt their state. It's one of the largest employers in this city. My question is, some years back, the city of Jackson created some walls so that cyber attack would not happen. Do we need to modify what we created? How do we make sure that we are prepared? I know people doing something every day trying to have a cyber attack. And Ms. Slater, we're going to depend on you to save this city.
Nathan Slater, Director of Information Technology for the City of Jackson. So in response to your question, Councilman Stokes, immediately right after the incident that occurred with UMMC, we began our process of looking at our disaster recovery plan. We are in the process of printing a document, getting a document that would be shared with the council as to what we would do in the event of such an event if it occurred. One of the things that does help us a lot is that a lot of our systems are in what we call in the cloud, correct? So we have partners that are hosting a lot of our data. That data that includes payroll data, that includes a lot of stuff, a lot of information that is used on a daily basis by all employees of the City of Jackson. So a lot of that is, and that includes like in addition to payroll, but the time clocks and that type of thing. So all of that is hosted in the cloud, and those partners that we have that provide those services, we have been in contact with them to ensure that they are making sure that their systems are being backed up, and what would happen in the event of such an event would occur with the City of Jackson. But we are in the process of reviewing our manual disaster recovery plan, and we plan to present that to the council.
Could you possibly think what they did in the past? They had meetings with city employees to make sure they didn't open those boxes.
Yes.
So that you could explain to them, if they don't know, that do not open this box.
Yes.
Because it could be damaging. Can you have some meetings with different divisions of the city to let them know that, you know, if they don't know, they need to ask y'all, get some guidance so that we won't be
Yes.
hurt.
So there is software that we have purchased that is implemented in the city of Jackson. When we receive suspicious emails or suspicious document, it asks the end user, are you sure that this is something that you want to open? So I won't disclose the name of that software, but it does a very good job in our opinion. And so far, and when someone does, and in some cases, does receive suspicious email, it notifies them, and we have been diligent with our user base to make sure that they contact us, that anytime, nothing is too small, okay? If you just have a question, you can come call our help desk, either call or email our help desk, but we caution everyone, do not open anything that you're not sure that is legitimate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any more questions about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, 7-0, thank you.
Thank you.
23,
Order accepting the bid of Henfield Construction Company, Inc. for the Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge Replacement Program.
So moved.
Second.
it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Could I thank this administration? Bridgman now, this is Lifeline for Linnell Junior Senior High School. And it's easy for us to make excuses and try to find a way not to do something versus trying to make sure we can cure a problem. I know it's a lot of bridges out in this city. I said over the years, we need to get more of our county tax money for road and bridge. Road and bridge is on every one tag receipt, and the city need more of that money. But to make things happen in a short period of time, because they said 90 days, and it's been 3 years. And we just want to thank y'all, everybody throughout this Georgetown community, all these inner city neighborhoods, because everybody used Martin Luther King, and it became a big, big problem. And we thank y'all for solving the problem. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments? Mr. Hartley? Oh, Mr.
President.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've got a takeaway from this particular item that I think is important for the council to appreciate, and that is that there was only one bid submitted back on February 17th, and they had to go back and, because it was a higher bid than what the estimate was. But that's a telling sign of we went through a period for a number of years there where we were way behind in paying our bills and invoices, and late and not responsive to the local businesses that serve the city. In fact, the president of Henfield Construction called me up several years back, came and visited my office, and for about 45 minutes, and the city owed him $5 million. He's trying to run a small business, and the city owed him $5 million. They were years behind on a lot of the invoices. And we got to get back and regain the trust of the local businesses, so we'll get lots of bids and not just one bid on a project, because you end up getting better prices if you've got multiple bids. So it's important for us, and I appreciate the mayor and his team's working to restore that confidence in the local business community that we're going to pay their bills when they do the work and pay them on time. Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may, if I recall correctly, and I stand to be corrected by our Public Works Director, I think that when we did get the bid in, the most recent bid in, we were a little bit over $100,000 above what we anticipated. And we felt that got us in the realm of being able to handle that. We'll find the money to bridge that gap on that extra 100,000. But the thing that we're trying to do right now is get work done as quickly and as expeditiously as possible. And I think our Public Works Department is stepping up to the challenge that this city faces in terms of getting public works projects underway and completed as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Amen. Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I too would like to thank the Public Works Director. He came to a community meeting and talked to the people and talked candidly as he could about what they could do and couldn't do. And I want to thank Peter Tables for helping get 1%. 1%, they are controlling the money right now. And as the old people say, that when you're heading in the lion's mouth, you got to ease it out. So we just thankful that it was a team effort, and it's going to take that kind of team effort that may give us an opportunity to keep improving this city, because we need all the help we can get, especially with the number of bridges that's out and the work we need on our streets. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments by item 23? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. 24.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 2 to the contract of Ad Camp, Inc. for construction of street resurfacing project Phase 1B.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0. Mr. Parkinson, you see that? Okay. Item 26 has been pulled.
25.
Wait, 25. Let's go to item 25.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 2 to the contract of Ad Camp, Inc. for the construction of street resurfacing project Phase 1C.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? You see that, Mr. Parkinson? See, we can work together.
Yeah, congratulations.
We can work together. 27.
Order accepting the bid of Henfield Construction Company, Inc. for resurfacing West Woodrow Wilson Avenue from Martin Luther King Jr. Drive to Mill Street Bridge, STP-025-00053, LPA 108075-701000, Hines County, subject to concurrence by the Mississippi Transportation Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Praise the Lord. It's 27. All in favor? I remember walking that parade. We almost fell in over there. All right. Well, that's going to be real good, Mr. Stokes. 28.
Order ratifying procurement of repair services and parts by the Traffic Division of the Department of Public Works from Lewis Electric, Inc., and authorizing payment to said vendor.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? Mr. Hartley?
Yes, I will support this item, but I did have a question concerning our traffic section. Mr. Anderson. I'm continuing to get a lot of complaints about signs being pushed down, torn down, accidents happening, and they're all over. Do we have someone that can go out and straighten up our signs around the city?
Lorenzo Anderson, Public Works Director. Yes, we do, sir. We have 4 people in our traffic division. With storms come, they're handling the signs, they're handling the traffic signals, and the striping. So with that, it's more of a priority. The traffic signals is if it's a major
Obviously.
thoroughfare, but we are working on see how we can do more in-house. We did have some damage to our building, so we have to outsource some of those signs, but we are working on, I see it all over the city, especially street signs.
Okay, and so we do have a team that's going out, lifting them back up after someone maybe drinking and driving under the influence and mowed them down. We have a team, and they can call our regular city 311 system to get in there,
Yes, sir.
okay, to report those signs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mrs. Clay?
I want to say thank you to Mr. Anderson and his team, Public Works team. This weekend, when the storm was out, they did come out. He does have an excellent sign team, and Public Works has done an excellent job when they closed the bridge on Beasley Road. They have been out there. A car was going really fast and got on top of the bridge, but they came instantly, put the barricades up, so they are doing an excellent job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Brown Thomas?
Also, I want to thank you too, because every time I call you about something, you and your team, you respond immediately. But I just have one question. Can you check on that sign for Forest Hill and Brookwood for me?
Yes, ma'am.
For the bridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Foote?
Thank you. My question is, the traffic division, you've got 4 people. Is that the way the organization chart calls for it? Or do you have any empty slots that need to be filled?
Yes, sir. We have several empty spots that are vacant. As we go through the budget, we're discussing those vacancies to look to see how we can have more than one crew in striping, more than one crew in signs and traffic signals. But we're discussing it as we go through budget.
Well, I would encourage you to fill up all the slots in the traffic division, because we need lots of help with our signs and traffic lights too. Thank you.
Yeah, they tend to get cut when they're not filled. Mr. Hartley?
Yes, just one request from the administration or Mr. Anderson, that is that, can we have a discussion between Public Works and JPD on how to keep or prevent these signs from getting mowed down? And, folks, when they look at that, they look at that as a sign that government is not working, that there are no laws, whatever. So there's a big message being pushed there. So if we can have that discussion, perhaps if the council need to make the fines harder or higher, then we will do that. But we need to keep these signs up. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President.
Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. Mr. President, Councilman Foote had mentioned earlier about the business working relationship that the city of Jackson used to have with a lot of these businesses, where they would come out, do the work. Only thing they wanted was to be paid timely. And that's what we used to do with the lights in this city. Even though we had our division of street lights, we still used to use these outside companies to come in and fix things, but we paid them timely. So they didn't mind waiting and coming to help the city. And I think that's what Councilman Foote mentioned earlier. We got to get back to letting businesses feel comfortable come to do work for this city, knowing they're going to get paid. Because when lights are out or other things in this city, some of the citizens ignore safety. And that's why we have accidents. They just zoom through the light and run over other people and all kind of, it was yellow, but it's flashing, So again, I thank you for what you have done and keep doing. And I hope we can make sure that we just communicate with these businesses and let them know, well, look, you're on the agenda for the next meeting, you're going to get paid. That way they feel comfortable. Thank you.
All right, any more questions about 28? Hearing none, all in favor? 29?
Order ratifying procurement of repair services and parts by the Traffic Division of Department of Public Works from McInnes Systems, Inc., and authorizing payment to said vendor.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 29? Hearing none, all in favor?
7-0.
7-0, thank you. 30?
Order amending the February 10, 2026 order pursuant to the Memorandum of Understanding with Hinds County, Mississippi, approved September 9, 2025, authorizing the payment of an amount not to exceed $350,000 for the resurfacing of Larson, Foley, Harding, and Monroe Streets.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? You see that, Mr. Parkinson?
Yes, Mr. Parkinson.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Opposed? Good job, Ms. Brown. All right, that's 6-1?
6-1.
All right. 31, please.
Order authorizing the Department of Public Works to pay professional licensure dues, professional association dues, conference fees, and travel-related expenses that are reasonable and necessary for the representing the city of Jackson and its employees in the performance of the department's duties.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments for item 31? Hearing none, all in favor?
7-0.
7-0. 32,
Order revising the January 13, 2026 order authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the city of Jackson, Mississippi and the William Monroe Trotter Collaborative for Social Justice at Harvard Kennedy School of Government to amend the terms of the MOU.
So moved.
Second.
it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments for item 32? Yes, sir.
You know, there's considerable discussion on yesterday's work session concerning this collaboration with Harvard University and the JFK School of Government. What I've just passed out is a two-page summary, three-page summary of what they're going to be doing in collaboration with our police department. They have done work in Birmingham, St. Louis, Albany, New York, Somerville, Massachusetts, and this was derived from a memorandum of understanding which was established between the city of Jackson and the Harvard Kennedy School, supervised by Dr. Cornell Brooks with the Jackson Police Department. The local liaison is Officer Outland, who's working with these graduate students as graduate-level policy research, national best practice analysis, and development of institutional credibility by one of the nation's most respected applied social justice programs. Dr. Brooks is the former president and CEO of the NAACP. He's a civil rights attorney, a Yale Law School graduate, and a graduate of Jackson State. And the graduate students are going to be doing two major areas of focus: bridging the data perception gap, what policies, tactics, messaging, and initiatives can continue to lower crime stats in JPD. They'll also be updating and digitizing the JPD police manual, modernizing a foundational operational document to improve consistency, training, and accountability, and data flow and interoperability to improve connectivity between JPD's different systems and databases to enhance operational efficiency and real-time decision-making.
All right. Mr. Parkinson.
Thank you. Fully support this project. I voted for it initially. Happy to continue to support it. I only have a technical question. The updated MOU says that we can't use Harvard's name, including, and it says, any press releases, public announcements, or websites. How can we do that? I mean, it's a Harvard I mean, even us voting for this particular item, we have to say the name of the school to enter into the MOU. So I'm just curious, does this meet legal sufficiency? Are we okay with this language?
Well, I think that they're saying that there cannot be any agency relationship, and the work produced must prominently credit the students and teaching team in all relevant documents. So we are going to be able to identify who's done this research, but I don't think that they want to establish it as a formal relationship between the city and the school.
Sure, I understand that. I'm referring to Section 4 in particular.
I don't see the actual MOU. I don't know if we'll have the,
If it's good for y'all, it's good for
Have,
me. I fully support the project.
if you will recognize Ms. Montour to respond to that.
Sandra Moncure, Office of the City Attorney. Section 4 of the MOU, you'll see it just requires Harvard to give prior approval before you use their logo or name. That's kind of normal. They probably just want to make sure whatever message we are sending out is in tandem with the program. That's kind of standard.
I guess in other words, if something really, really goes off rails and Harvard name is tarnished, then they would invoke that.
They would have asked to, approve it before we release it.
I'm good with supporting it.
So,
Anything else? All in favor? 7-0, thank you. Item 33.
A resolution of the Jackson City Council encouraging Chief Rochelle Brackney, Ph.D., Chief of the Jackson Police Department, to reinstate the Neighborhood Enhancement Team, also known as as Illegal Dumping Unit.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? I think this kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
We've all come to depend on that unit, and we really need it back. Hopefully, the administration and new chief will go ahead and make that happen.
And just one other comment, if they could, as a part of their task, once they get back on, they could help patrol our gateways too. We're getting a lot of stuff coming from out of town. And they need to be looking for trucks full with debris, mattresses, et cetera, coming into the city, tires, coming into the city of Jackson. So, thank you.
All right. Any more questions or comments? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you, colleagues. 34.
Order of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, authorizing a reward for the arrest and conviction of the persons who burglarized Martin Furniture and Appliances in Hometown Barbecue is not to exceed $2,500.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Councilman Stokes?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this order reads arrest and conviction. We're not satisfied, and we're not going to allow just an arrest. It must be a conviction. What has happened, and we need to nip it in the bud, too many of our businesses, because of crime and criminal activity, are moving to Madison and Rankin County. That's affecting our sales tax. At one time in this city, the sales tax was so high, we had enough money for fund balance and everything else. But because we're losing businesses because of thievery and other things, these businesses are paying sales tax. And the city of Jackson receives a portion of that state money, but that portion is in the millions. We cannot allow criminal activity to kill this city. I had to go to a medical place in Richland, right over County Line Road, and I was just shocked that all of our major great hotels are now in Madison or Rankin County. I'm not talking about the Western, but all these hotels used to be in Jackson. The county cannot receive sales tax, only cities. We cannot continue to allow criminals to kill this city, run the criminals out the city, and let the businesses stay in. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Chloe and Mr. Hartley.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, Mr. Stokes, but I think Crime Stoppers already has the $2,500 reward, and we could better use our money with Crime Stoppers and publicize Crime Stoppers and ask that people use Crime Stoppers in all crimes in the city of Jackson. And I think the police department can address Crime Stoppers for us.
Michael Allen, Jackson Police Department. Yes, Crime Stoppers offers up to $2,500 for tips for any crime within the city of Jackson. All they have to do is go to this website, or they can call Crime Stoppers to report any crime in the city of Jackson and get up to a $2,500 reward.
Let me ask you this. How many counties, not cities, Crime Stoppers cover?
Multiple for Central Mississippi, Crime Stoppers.
My point exactly. Too many. We cannot keep waiting for Crime Stoppers or others, because we're dying on the vine. These businesses keep leaving especially poor neighborhoods, we cannot survive. Older people need places like Martin for layaways and to go do simple shopping. They can't go to Walmart and put something in the layaway. And I understand Crime Stoppers role, they can join us. But at the same time, we got to stop the bleeding. These criminals are bleeding these inner city neighborhoods out. Sooner or later, you're not gonna have the basic businesses. We lost McDonald's because of food shot up the playground. McDonald's gone. We lost a drugstore at 5 Points because of thievery. We just lost a Family Dollar on Woodrow Wilson. Crime Stoppers might be good, but they ain't doing the damn thing in Ward 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Mr. Hartley, you had a...
Captain, is there any type of focus, emphasis that JPD has on especially protecting these businesses? You know, I know we had our program where we were trying to get out the cameras and so forth. I'm concerned that we will, that we need to have a holistic approach. We need to cover everybody here. And the same concerns I have in my ward as well. So do we have anything focused, this to the administration as well, anything focused on helping protect our businesses through JPD and perhaps a collaboration with the planning department?
Without releasing operational functions of what
We don't
got
want to do
going
that,
on,
no.
Chief Brackney is working on things to address property crimes as well as violent crime. So it is something in the works to address the entire city with property crimes as well as violent crime.
But for right now, say when we have a business that's burglared or something, do we have a concentrated effort?
We have a property crimes unit
Okay.
that actually investigates all property crimes within the city. Yes, sir.
Ms. Brown Thomas?
Thank you. Councilman Stokes, I support you fully, but also in Ward 6 have an issue with my businesses being burglarized that caused them to move out of Jackson as well. So I move we refer this item to Public Works Safety and Parks Committee to discuss it for more. Because if we give one business, then my business, they're gonna be like, why you didn't do it for mine?
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Mr. Stokes, you have a question?
Thank you. Mr. President, it's not like this item is something that will be paid out of this budget currently. That's why we made sure that the language is clearly arrest and conviction. So you don't have to put in a committee. We got to get information. It's not paid out for information. Person got to be arrested and convicted to make sure you're not losing city money. Martin's closed. The barbecue place barely opening. And I support any council member who puts something on, because like you're saying, this thing is almost killing the city of Jackson, sales tax wise. Just like I support this one, I support in Ward 6 and Ward 5 and everywhere else. Long as we have the language, arrested and convicted. That's the key thing. Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and dispose of the motion. All in favor of the motion to put this in which committee? Public Safety and Parks Committee. All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Huh? 421? All right. Item 35.
Order authorizing the city attorney to file an appeal of the federal court decision approving a 12% water rate increase for Jackson Water customers.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Councilman Stokes.
Mr. President, the city of Jackson just cannot, the citizens just cannot afford 12%. Even they try to be reasonable, say 2% or something else. It would have been better. I hope everybody had a copy. Someone gave me a copy of the opinion. It was from the judge, and some of the things that's troubling is this. On page 4, where it said, no party has argued convincingly. I think the legal department, I wasn't there, but I think they did a good job in proving the point. And after convincingly, they said that Jackson Ward's montage is manufactured. Hyperbole are simply inadequate. I think they proved that. I think they proved it and did a good job proving it. What we have to do is appeal it to a higher court. Any law is appealable. We cannot allow more people to have their water turned off in this city without a formula to get the water back on. Anywhere you go in this country, if you turn water off, you find a way to get it back on. It leads to disease and sickness. What, bubonic plague came from rats? It's a lot of citizens, especially elderly, without water in Jackson today. And we got to do something to change that. Shouldn't force people to leave Jackson just to have water. They can go to Pearl and get water for $30. We got an availability fee for water. It started at $40. Some of these businesses paying $1,500. Questions that we have asked about where the money, who getting paid and all of this, once we appeal this, we can get answers to that. Legal department, y'all can guide me. I think the appeal would lead, to the Fifth Circuit? Would that be the next level? But we deserve to appeal this for the sake of this city and for people who deserve water. Thank you.
Jason Neighbors, Office of the City Attorney. We'd be happy to discuss appeals and potential legal strategies, but we'd like to do that in executive session. I don't think it's appropriate.
You don't have to.
We are available to discuss.
We trust y'all.
All
We
right.
trust you.
Ms. Clark?
I'm not against appeal at all, but for information purposes or education, that availability fee is $40 per citizen, but if a citizen is on SNAP, that availability fee goes down to $10 if the water bill is in their name. So that is something we need to educate the city of Jackson, because we know there are a lot of people on SNAP that are not using that. But if the water bill is in their name, the fee is only $10.
Mr. Foote?
And my question was, when you appeal something from a federal judge, where does the appeal go to? I assume it's the Fifth Circuit. They go to the Fifth Circuit?
Yeah.
Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. We'd generate some news on that. We'd generate some visibility.
Mr. Hartley?
Yes, I think I would lean towards supporting this item, so that we can bring some light to these issues. And basically, that availability fee is like 3-4 rate increases. And then there's another rate increase, and then there's another rate increase. Well, what sense of having that water if our folks can't have reasonable economical access to that water? And again, I question anyone running our water system, as well as the citizens that represent them. And so for that effort, I say, okay, let's kick it up. Let's get some more information. My question, though, is going to be on the fee side or on the cost side. And maybe we can discuss that in executive session as well. But here we are, the feds have our water system. And for the average person, it seems as though they have no input and things are happening to them in their life, in their budget. So we have to somehow get the word out or kick it up that, hey, look, somebody need to be paying attention to this. If we went with the theory of the accessibility fee being a regular fee increase, then we've had 6 fee increases. And that's crazy. And now we still have folks that water is being cut off. I'm just saying we need to kick something up. So I'm sorry. That's all, Mr. President.
Ms. Parkinson.
Thank you. This order would authorize the city attorney to file an appeal. Do they not already have that authority without this order?
I believe we do, yes.
For me, I really want to hear what legal has to say. And I'm going to ask, I know Councilman Stokes doesn't want to go into executive session, but if legal has something they can share with us, I think we need to hear it. So I'm going to ask that those who made the motion in the second take it back. Or can I go ahead and, they need to take it back, right? So we can put it in executive session. Okay, if you could take back the motion in the second.
I take back my second.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'm just wondering if we can't just delay that for the executive session, but we don't have to cancel it out altogether.
I think they got to take it back, and then I can just table it until then.
Who made?
Who made the
Me,
motion?
Stokes.
You go you don't have a second.
Okay, my question is, are we going to hear legal speak to what Councilman Parkinson said about they can appeal it, but they haven't given this council any indication that they're going to appeal it?
I think this is something, even to your point that was made, and to Clay's point that was made, there's a desire for more information. And if city legal can share that with us in executive session, it may be worthwhile. And that will help us to better be informed in terms of how we want to vote on this matter.
All right, I withdraw my motion.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take.
For executive session,
For
right?
executive session.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. All right. Thank you. Item 36.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, supporting the city's FY 2026 congressional appropriations for the West North Side Drive Rail Crossing Elimination Planning Project.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you. 37.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, supporting the city's congressional appropriations request for the Eubanks Creek Flood Mitigation and Resilience Initiative.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you. Item 38.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, supporting the city's FY 2026 congressional appropriations request for the large-scale blight removal and neighborhood revitalization program.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about item 38? Mr. Hartley?
Yes, I believe this was not discussed during yesterday's planning session. Can I just get a few moments of explanation? Is there anyone to speak on this? Solid Waste.
Peter Tableson, CAO. This pertains to the mayor's request where he's seeking $5 million a year for the next 2 years from the federal government to help the city of Jackson wrap its arms around the large-scale blight issues that we have. As this council has discussed in some of our committee meetings, tearing down a single structure, particularly a commercial structure, is a six-figure endeavor. and usually mid-six figures. And so the allocation we currently have in CDBG funds to tackle blight goes pretty quickly. So the mayor has come up with an ask or a request of our congressional delegation seeking large sums for the next 2 years so we can get caught up, so to speak. And this is what this resolution is supporting. And again, the mayor's been to DC. He can detail those discussions, but he's already verbally made that ask. The reason we have these three resolutions on here, there was a March 31st approach date by which we were supposed to submit these resolutions. That deadline moved 3 times last week, so the administration thought it had one more meeting to bring these resolutions forward. In lieu of that deadline moving up to last Friday, moved 3 times last week and landed at close of business last Friday. The administration took 36, 37, and 38. 36 and 37 were previous efforts of the city that this administration also prioritized and supported, and then added 38, which was the blight that the mayor has spoken about and that all of you have been concerned about. And that's how we got to where we are today. Hopefully, we'll get that appropriation or some significant amount thereof.
Okay,
Point of information.
this, what's our likelihood? Are we praying and fasting or just praying?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
I said, what's our likelihood of getting this?
Well, these are earmarked requests, and we are very hopeful that the delegation will be successful, but you have not because you asked not. We're asking.
Point of information, fully support this item. Mr. Tewison, you had mentioned $5 million annually. The document that I'm seeing says $3 million annually, so I just wanted some clarification on that.
The mayor had sought $5 million. I think our federal lobbyists feel like $3 million is a more gettable goal than $5 million. I will personally say I think we probably need $10 million a year for the next 2 or 3 years. So I apologize for referencing 5. I was on the call. It thought that the ask was more likely to get inserted at 3 million than 5.
So we will be praying and fasting.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
And I do want to say, our congressional delegation, that being both of the senators, Cindy Hyde-Smith and Roger Wicker, as well as Congressman Thompson and Congressman Michael Guest, were all alerted to these requests and all specifically requested that the city get these items in by close of business last week. So we do have the support of both United States senators from Mississippi and both United States congressmen who represent any portion of the city of Jackson. So praying and fasting, yes, because we have verbal indications from all 4 members of our congressional delegation who represent the city that they are supporting these earmarks.
Are they advocating for us?
That's the way I took all the conversations was yes. I don't think they would have encouraged the city to meet a short deadline that they knew was a challenge unless they were advocating for us.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. President. Mr. Stokes. Thank you. Mr. Mayor and Mr. Tatum, y'all keep saying earmark. You have a number of citizens who watch the broadcast. Can you explain to them, when you use the word earmark, what your meaning is?
Yes, sir, Councilman Stokes. An earmark is a specific request made by a senator or a member of Congress, or in our case, hopefully more than one senator and more than one member of Congress, whereby a specific funding request is actually placed in a funding bill that would be voted on by the entire Congress. Thus, if the funding bill is passed, the money for these specific projects right here in Jackson, Mississippi would be forthcoming.
The funding bill.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any more questions or comments about this item? Colleagues, I do know 36 and 37, we tried them before. With respect to 36, only one municipality on the coast was awarded anything last year, and so when I met with the federal lobbyists, this was one of the things they wanted to make sure that we wanted to continue. And so these 3 things, we just never know, Mr. Hartley, but again, closed mouth don't get fed, so we're going to make sure that we ask, all right? All in favor of item 38? 7-0, thank you. Okay, colleagues, now we're down to discussion. Discussion 39, update Jackson Police Department Jackson Public Schools, Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, before Chief Wade left, he had told this body several times that the Jackson Police Department was going to go back into Jackson Public Schools. And it's my understanding that it's not going to happen, it's not happening. And I placed this item on the agenda to find out why. Because these schools need some police officers badly. You got everything from dope being sold in the schools to dope being smoked in the schools, stealing and everything else. They need people like, early on, we had people like Archie Hodge that was in these schools and they were stopping the nonsense. Robert Love, these police officers, they're great. A lot of these children, because they're getting so bad, they're dropping out of school. Or they're going to private school or charter schools. I think it was a good idea that Chief Wade came up with, and I still support the idea. I guess, Mr. Mayor, I'm asking, why did they decide not to allow the police department, police officers into Jackson Public Schools? And if so, can we get it rethought of, worked out?
Michael Allen, Jackson Police Department. The reason that initiative was put on hold was because of staffing. There were initially 7 individuals to go into the schools, but the number one job of the police department is calls for service. Putting the officers back in schools at this time was not a luxury that we could afford. We needed them in patrol, so Chief Jones made the decision to postpone it at the time and have the officers in patrol answering calls for service. Dr. Brackley is doing the staffing analysis for the police department to see the feasibility of doing that, but right now, where our staffing levels are, those individuals were sought best to be in the patrol unit, patrolling the streets.
Good. Okay, so what you're saying is not dead.
No, sir.
Okay. Could we even consider, I know we're bringing on retired police officers to help with some things. Can we consider retired officers, at some of these schools? Like, again, I mentioned Archie Hodge. He was great. I don't know if he would. I hadn't talked to him. But maybe we can talk to some of these retired officers to get them in these schools. Now, I know school is about out. We don't have a long period of time. And maybe we can start working on for next year. But these schools are more and more out of control. Problems starting in school, coming to these neighborhoods, and they destroying these neighborhoods. We got to do what we can to save these kids. Keep them in school, because the only way you're going to get a chance to be successful is through education. They used to say the way out of poverty is through education. So, thank you for telling me what has happened. And I don't think anybody can have a fit about, we don't have the manpower, I guess what you're saying. And I don't know, the numbers were low when Chief Wade was there. I don't know how he was going to do it, but I hope somebody could talk to him. But at least consider retired officers or somebody to make sure we can make sure these schools are safe again, so people will stop taking their children out of the Jackson Public School. Thank you.
Mr. Stokes, I actually know some reserve officers looking for something to do.
Yeah, they would do it, yeah.
Mr. Ward, one of them. So, that's a good way to at least engage, because they need their hours. They want to maintain their status, and putting them in the schools is a good way to do that. Mr. Parkinson?
Yeah, I think we have all the research that says schools must be safe places.
Absolutely.
We have to ensure that schools are safe places. My question is, either in our current 911 system, and I've also heard talks about a potentially revamped 911 system, is their priority in the patrol system, if we get a call from a school, is that prioritized for officers on parole that we need attention there immediately?
They will respond, but the school system has their own public safety entity as well.
Sure.
So they will be the first responders to that incident, but the Jackson Police Department will always respond to a school for a call for service.
Great, thank you.
All right. Anything else on this item?
Yes, Mr. President. Even though the schools have their police, they do not carry the same kind of that a Jackson police officer carry. And some of these students and others, they look at them as security guards. But when they see a police officer, it's a different attitude. And a lot of some of the homes where there are single parents, the mothers are afraid for their children, and they begin to pull them out of Jackson Public Schools, going to charter school, private school, and everything else. So if we have to get reserves, it's too many ways we can work this out and create a win-win. And we just need to start talking to whoever we need to talk to make sure schools are safe. People don't want, and they hear too many instances of someone going to school and the children not making it back home. We need to make sure that Jackson Public Schools are doubly safe. The police department with Jackson Public Schools and Jackson Police Department is a way to make it doubly safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 40, Mr. Hartley. Keep Jackson beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. A couple of things here, and this is concerning Keep Jackson Beautiful. I think they generally have a contract or MOU or something, and the city of Jackson provides support to that group. I wanted to see if we can get an update on what's going on with them. We're getting ready to come up on the spring time when they normally put out a whole lot of different community cleanups and other services, including litter pickup. And that was one thing that was on. So, Mr. Anderson, can you tell us, have we paid them? Are they going to get paid anytime soon? I mean, this is authorized by the state legislature where we can provide funding for them, and they do serve a good purpose. And also address the litter control issues that maybe we have in the city.
Okay, Lorenzo Anderson, Public Works Director. We did discuss with the council on 12, I think sometime in December, but it was pulled off the agenda for the Keep Greenville Beautiful, Keep Jackson.
Wrong city.
I did the same thing last time. Keep Jackson Beautiful. I think it was going to a committee, never went to a committee, so I think that was the last, it was like $40,000 to approve.
I thought we approved that.
No.
We never approved it, so I think it was supposed to be going to a committee, so I guess the next committee we can have that and approve that. As far as the litter, I think we used to have a contract. That contract ended in October. Right now, we don't have a contract for litter, but what we're doing, we have in advertising our grass cutting contract, and we're putting in that before they cut the grass, that they're required to pick up the litter on the major thoroughfares. That will help with the litter, but it's not going to be a complete solution to it. So I think with what the council approved with the illegal dumping units, with, putting in contracts that they clean up before they start cutting, and also with our internal crew, which we do that on Thursdays and Fridays, I think it'll make it better. But this is the same crew in sanitation, solid waste, that take care of curbside pickup too. So we don't have a full dedicated crew to litter, but it's something we probably can discuss in the committee.
Okay, I think we need to maybe go beyond discussion. And, right now we have a lot of the grass that hadn't come up. Now would be a good time to pinpoint those areas that need litter control and go out and do it. And what I'm hearing is that we don't have a mechanism to do that as a city. Keep Jackson Beautiful is not stirring up those communities to go out and pick up because, we haven't supported them, and then we don't have any in-house resources. So I would, if you could maybe make it a priority, especially coming up into the springtime, that we go ahead and And I'll be asking more questions during next week's Public Works Committee. But
Yes,
that's
sir.
all. Thank you.
All right, 41.
Yes, we're going to have a meeting next week. We'll let you know.
Mr. Hartley, 41.
Oh, I'm
Litter
sorry.
control? Or did y'all handle that together?
Yeah, I think we covered litter as well.
All right. Discussion 42, copper theft, Brown Thomas.
Okay, did JPD leave?
JP.
So since they left, I have to hold mine.
All right. 43, Smith Wheels contract foot.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the Smith Wills contract that was revised back in January. I think it was 2024. If not, then it was 23 was January. And I think it, unfortunately, I think it ended up being a really bad contract. I'm not even sure if it's a legal contract. We forgave, if my memory serves correct, about $400,000 in monies, debt that the contractor owed the city, and I don't think that's legal. I actually reached out to the State Attorney General's office for a Attorney General's opinion, and at that time, they had to recuse themselves. They were sympathetic to my request, but they had to recuse themselves because the state legislature had passed a bill that included the request for the Attorney General's office to take Smith Wills, the ballpark, back from the city, which evidently the city had gotten back in the 1970s. And so there is state legislature efforts to try to take that back from the city. So I think it behooves us to make sure we're good stewards and make sure that we've got a good contract that's valid under state laws. And in fact, they're still trying to get it now. At least the legislature still has interest in trying to get that back from us. All the more reason for us to be diligent in pursuing this and making sure that the contract's a valid one that's being, and that the performance from the vendor is, up to what we should be as far as getting the fees we're supposed to be getting. One of the things that really upset me about the contract was a month after we went through this forgiveness of debt that the contractor owed us, it came to light that they had signed a deal with the VA to provide overflow parking at Smith Wills to the tune of around, I think it was $150,000 a year. It was a very significant contract that they were awarded and had, and they knew about it. The vendor knew about it at the same time we were voting to forgive all their debt. I think it's a really bad deal for the city. It makes us look bad. It doesn't we don't appear to be being good steward of the resources we've got. So I think I would encourage the administration to review that contract in detail, make sure that it was actually followed state law, and potentially redo that contract or start over from scratch and look for vendors if you want to go that route. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
President?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You
Mr. President?
caught me mid-thought. I had to pause for a minute. I'm getting old. Go ahead, Mr.
Mr. President, Councilman Foote brought up an issue with this item about the state. I think they passed legislation to take it back. I think it was take back Smith Wills, let me say that.
Right.
But I think it was other issues, Mr. Mayor, that would affect not only Smith Wills, but the surrounding area. Could you explore the status of this? Because I don't think anybody has really moved on it. And in government, if they don't move on it, they just waiting, because they're gonna move later. So what he's suggesting is that we get in front of this and find out, what the state gonna do, Is the legislation still current? And what do we need to do to make sure that we don't lose Smithville State?
Well, Mr. President, yes, Councilman Stokes, legislation was passed to direct the Attorney General to explore whether the city of Jackson was in breach of the agreement that the state made with the city several decades ago. I understand that the person who has the contract with Smith Wills, according to the agreement that's in place now, is up to date on whatever payments are owed to the city under the most recent agreement. There are a number of plans being developed in and around Smith Wills that need to be coordinated, and as I understand it, the lawsuit that the Attorney General filed against the city is I won't call it dormant, but no actions are being pushed to proceed on that effort at this time. The vendor who has the contract has opined that he's willing to turn the revenue over from the VA parking over to the city. Those are the things that I know about right now, but we've been concerned about this issue. We know that we need to get better on top of it, but we've had a bunch of other fish to fry that have taken precedence over that, but we are going to turn our focus to it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Members of the body, Peter Tableson, CAO. Just to correct the factual record for anyone who is listening, the land where Smithville Stadium sits is not the city of Jackson's. It is, and always has been, the state of Mississippi's land. The state of Mississippi executed a deed in the 1940s conveying use of that land to the city of Jackson as long as the city used it for a recreational facilities. But I want to make it clear, the state of Mississippi never gave Jackson that land. They just entered a conditional lease, and that's recorded in a deed. It's not an agreement. It's recorded over in Eddie Jean Carr's Chancery Clerk records. And so we're operating off of that 1940s deed for anything we do going forward. I think everything else the mayor said in terms of how this administration and how the mayor wants to approach resolving this is spot on, but I don't want the public to think that we own this land and we somehow have exclusive control of this land when this land always has been and still is the state of Mississippi's. So this is a little different than our airport issues or some of the other issues where we were concerned about the state taking something that belonged to the city. In this case, the state has tried to take back what has always been theirs, and we are, of course, opposed to that and in favor of some sort of mutual resolution, as the mayor said.
Amen.
All right. Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, just a quick question. Do we have any, are we in violation of that agreement?
The state would say yes, the city would say no. We think it's still being used for recreational facilities and that any non-recreational facility use is incidental to the main purpose of that. For example, Jackson Public Schools still play their baseball season in Smithville Stadium.
Right.
That seems to be recreational use of that stadium in supporting our local school district. So that's the crux of the inactive lawsuit, is that the state says there was a non-recreational use that was predominant in the city's position, taken under the last administration and maintained by this administration, is that the recreational uses are predominant, or that's mostly what is occurring out there, and thus the terms of the deed should still allow the city of Jackson to control the property.
All right. Real quick on discussion 40, the clerk sent me from the minutes that the Keep Jackson Beautiful item was pulled on 12/30/2025 by the administration. So hopefully we can entertain that again real soon. We want to maintain that relationship. Councilwoman Brown Thomas also said she wanted to move forward with her item, copper theft.
Okay, thank you, President. If everybody knew, this last week, I had a big crime issue with carpet theft in my area. They went from McClure Road, Terry Road, and just tore down poles. I know without going to all the detail, I know we had footage of these people. So can you kind of brief me if we need to, is it a way we can make it a felony? Because they are just hooking trucks to the poles and just tearing down the poles.
Michael Allen, Jackson Police Department. There actually is a felony, it's grand larceny. And I know in one of the copper thefts, there has been an arrest made, and currently, without disclosing too much, the investigation is going a little more in depth with the copper thefts in the city.
And also, do we need to visit where the people that they are taking this to? Can we charge them? We're gonna have to come up with something because this is getting out of hand.
All that's in the works. I just don't want to give all of it away in a public meeting of what's going on within the department. But it is, everything's under investigation, including what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just maybe you can meet with some of our council folks so we can get a good understanding. We can share some of the information
Yes,
with
sir.
others.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Are these local people that's doing this? We understand that it's a gentleman in South Jackson getting children to steal cars and he give them $100. Are these local ideas? Are they coming from out of state and bring these ideas in here? From what she's saying, they knocking down poles and, you know, because there's going to be copycats. If they doing it in South Jackson today, it's going to come all the way across our wards tomorrow. So is it the brainchild of people that's in Jackson?
It's a mixture.
I know what that means. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Foot, 44?
Thank you, Mr. President. This item concerns the final billing for the White Oak Creek erosion control project that started, 5 or 6 years ago, and the state put up $2 million, and I got a call from Supervisor Graham end of last week about them needing the final $418,000. And I've talked with Terry Williamson. Can you give us the sort of quick overview of this situation?
Terry Williamson, Office of the City Attorney. When Mr. Councilman Foote put this on the agenda, I went back and looked because it's come up a couple of times. There is an interlocal that the city approved from it's signed in October of 2024, where the city was going to contribute $419,855 towards this project.
And so we voted and approved it. So is that money set aside somewhere? That was way back, a year and a half ago?
I wouldn't be aware of that.
Okay.
I know that, all I can report is the, action that the city council took, and I'm not sure.
So is the next, for the supervisors to get paid at this point in time, evidently hadn't been paid, do they need to present an invoice to the administration? Is that what's needed at this point, or is this enough?
Yeah, I think that would be an appropriate way for them to handle that.
Okay.
I mean, that would, and, that.
Okay. All right. That's all I had. Just want to present that information for Supervisor Graham, and I appreciate the work they've done. It's really been a big help to the residents that live on both sides of the Carrollwood and River Thames along the White Oak Creek. It's, greatly enhanced the quality of life there.
All right. All right, so we don't have any presentations, proclamations, resolutions. Show of hands, you got your reports from the members
Mr. Davis.
Mayor and department directors. Item 45.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
The administration would like to get some guidance from the council with regard to a couple of issues that have been referred to committee. There are a couple of MOUs between Jackson Police Department, the City of Jackson, and Capitol Police that will provide added personnel and resources to support the real-time command center to help us use technology to do better crime fighting. There's also a matter that's been referred to committee regarding the selection of a health advisor who could potentially assist the city in saving millions of dollars in health care coverage we're currently having to pay. And the administration would just like some guidance as to when these committee meetings will take place so that these matters can be discussed and hopefully brought forward.
Those meetings will be scheduled really soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 45, please.
Monthly report of privileged taxes as required according to Section 27-17-501 of the Mississippi Code annotated of 1972.
Show of hands.
We just got it, right?
It's right here. So everybody received them.
Yeah.
All right, that's what this is. We received them. All right, colleagues, I'm going to go ahead and call for your announcements, and then I'm going to need a motion. I'll cover that later. Mr. Parkinson, I saw your hand first. Then Mr. Hartley, Mr. Foote. No?
What's that?
No, mind. And then Mr. Stokes. I know Stokes got something. All right,
I have
Parkinson.
3 super quick ones. The first is today is Election Day, so if you haven't already, I encourage everyone to go vote.
Was that the right?
Secondly, we are expecting some more inclement weather later this week, so I'd encourage everyone to be safe, check in with neighbors, and make sure that everyone's doing well. And then thirdly, we're getting a new business, and so on Friday, there is going to be a groundbreaking for a new Hampton Inn. That's going to be at 11 a.m. in the Fondren neighborhood. Encourage the public to go out and support. And Mr. Stokes, I know you've been supporting Fondren Project and have asked, when is the work actually going to get done? I'm pleased to report that that is going to have a groundbreaking Friday at 11, and we'll encourage everyone to go out and encourage our new businesses. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that we're not at the very end of the meeting, but I'd like to mention this at the closure. I'd like to close the meeting in honor of Miss Lou Alice Smith. She was
Amen.
mother of D.A. Robert Schuler Smith, who passed away. And Miss Smith was a former English and French teacher in the Jackson Public School System. Please remember the family in your thoughts and prayers. And that is, again, Miss Lou Alice Smith.
All right, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to close the meeting in honor of Mrs. Viola H. Edmonds, Dr. Elaine Hayes Anthony, Mr. Jerome Harrington, and Mrs. Classy Maudine Taylor.
All right. Anyone else? All right, so I need a motion. I'll take a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of going to executive session to discuss personnel matters and pending litigation.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. 7-0, thank you. Unless you are party to this conversation, we kindly ask that you exit the chambers. Media, please take your devices. I ain't playing with you. All right, we are out of executive session. No official action was taken. Colleagues, let's go back to the introduction of ordinance item 13.
Ordinance amending the City of Jackson's compensation plan to modify the compensation of the Chief of Police to add a pay range 55 with an annual salary range of $125,458.82 to $152,859.38.
So moved.
Second.
Well, this is just an introduction. Now, when I need y'all to do this, can somebody please speak on this item? I know it's just an introduction, but we can just hear something. It's introduced. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor of suspending the rules to expedite? All right. How many was that?
6.
6-0. All right. Very good. Now, we got item 13 on the floor, please.
Ordinance amending the City of Jackson's compensation plan to modify the compensation of the Chief of Police to add pay range 55 with an annual salary range of $125,458.82 to $152,859.38.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? I'm waiting on y'all.
So moved, we amended.
Amend what? Come on, Mr. Parkinson.
Mr. President, I move that we
Can you
amend
come up and help us?
step 4.5 to read $150,000.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second to amend step 4.5 to $150,000 from 149, whatever else it is that's stated in the document. All in favor of the amendment? All right. So now we have the item on the floor as amended. Any questions or comments? Legal? Clerk? I'm sorry, they got you in here.
Sandra Moncur, Office of the City Attorney. We have a further amendment. We need to state a reason why we would put forth this ordinance to be effective immediately. Shanikia has that
Clerk.
motion, the language.
Shanikia Jordan, Clerk of Council. The whereas clause reads, whereas the City of Jackson's governing authority recommends this ordinance to take immediate effect because public interest demands establishing the police chief's salary for an April 1st, 2026 start date that is essential to maintaining department operations and ensuring the continued safety for Jackson residents, visitors, and businesses.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this amendment? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, so now we have the item on the floor as amended, changing the range step 4.5 to $150,000. Ooh, that would have been nice. Any questions or comments about the item as amended? All in favor of item 13 as amended? 6-0, very good. Item 16.
Order amending the City of Jackson's compensation plan to change the range of Chief of Police from pay range 50 to pay range 55.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? Legal?
No changes.
No changes. There's a question about where the money? Oh, okay. Well, just to be clear, where is the money coming from?
Julia Caldwell, CFO. The options that were discussed was to take it from the vacancies in the general fund or the auction proceeds.
Okay.
Yep.
Y'all gonna leave it up to the administration?
Yeah, maybe if there's any additional discussion need to be, maybe our finance committee could discuss it. But right now, we're good.
Okay. All right. All in favor of item 16? Opposed? Abstain? Yeah, we got you. 401. 501, sorry. 501. All right. Item 35 has been tabled. Okay.